New year brings new rules for Idahoans. As of January 1st, at least 8 new state laws are now fully in effect. Changes lawmakers say will have a real impact on communities statewide.
And they cover a wide range of issues, from homeowner tax exemptions to free breast cancer screenings for those with a family history. And these are just a few of the new laws, with most taking effect on July 1st.
Here's Abby Wilt with the story.
There are some times when the legislature chooses to have something begin on the 1st of January.
At least 8 new laws took effect across the Gem State at the start of 2026, a relatively small number compared to what typically goes into effect on July 1st.
I think the default beginning date for most new legislation in Idaho is always 1 July because that's when the state's budget year begins.
Boise State political science professor Stephanie Witt says there isn't always a clear reason why some bills take effect in January while others begin in July.
Possibly the state maybe needed some time to be ready to implement, or they were waiting on something else like the changing of tax law, which would go from January to January.
Starting January 1st, the anti-SLAPP statute goes into effect, meaning the subject of a lawsuit in Idaho now has the chance to ask a judge to dismiss the case immediately if they feel it's frivolous. This is in order to avoid months of court hearings. On the healthcare front, healthcare providers are now required to pay for breast cancer screenings for those who have genetic history of breast cancer. And on the home buying front, anyone in the Gem State who is buying a home as their primary residence can now apply for and receive the state's homeowner tax exemption.
The folks down the street here in the state capitol are really the people that are making decisions that will impact our lives.
Witt says regardless of when a bill takes effect, January, July, or under an emergency clause, it's important for Idaho residents to follow the legislative session, as those decisions can affect them directly.
That a lot that happens in the state capitol affects them a lot more directly than anything Congress does or doesn't do.
The Idaho legislative session, where they'll start writing new laws, starts at the Capitol next Monday, January 12th. We'll be providing coverage of what bills you need to know about on KTVB.com.